Okay, I'm finally going to do it. I'm going to start the big, giant project. I got a ginormous dollhouse. Oh, just after Christmas. No, just after Christmas. It was a Christmas / birthday present from my parents. Thank you. And there's a whole story behind it, and it's back there. So come with me. Let's look. All right, what we got is in here. This is my back room. This is in case you didn't know, this used to be a horse barn, and I converted it into my craft barn. I kind of took it over, and this is the one closed off room that I can climate control. So this is where I put the good stuff, like all my little houses, and now the dollhouse. This is it. It's been under cover for a while. Let me turn off the... I have a dehumidifier in here because it gets really, really moist in here, and I don't want things like this to get ruined. So, da-da-da-da. Ta-da! All right. Now I got this dollhouse from... So let me go back. I did my Victorian Christmas back in December, and this lovely, lovely, lovely woman came by and said, "Oh my gosh, would you be interested in a dollhouse?" I was like, "Yeah, I've always wanted to do a dollhouse." She's like, "I got one. I've had it since I was a little kid. My dad, I believe, made it, and I want it to go to a good home." And so that's how this came to be. I didn't realize how big it is. She said it was big and you're going to need a truck. She was not kidding. So let's get a little bit of a grand tour. All right. First off, this is not little. It's 2 stories. Well, 3 if you count the very tippy top here. And the best part is it has actual working windows and doors. You see, it's got a front porch. Needs a little repair. The door's falling off. But it just needs some loving, you know? And as far as the outside, I probably will keep the roof. You will see it's got hundreds of little tongue depressors. And you know what? I kind of love it. So we're keeping that. And then everything is all shingled. I'm thinking of definitely staying with the Victorian style. I think I've looked at lots and lots and lots of pictures, and I've seen a lot of, mixed media, some slats, some scallops. I think I like to do something along those lines. Things may change. The blue and white, while it's very pretty, very beachy, very Cape Cod, I don't think I'll keep those colors. I think I'm going to go into definitely the pastels. Dare I say pinks, purples, lavenders, peaches, those kind of colors. I don't know. What do you guys think? But, I mean, the front porch is magnificent. And I think I'm going to put it on a plywood board and do a little bit of landscaping in the front too. Just needs it, So as you can see, it's a kind of a V shape. So this is one side, and there's 3 very big rooms. And the coolest part of all of this is it makes sense. You know how Dollhouse, well, especially like the Barbie, they're like, how do you get on the 2nd floor? And she just kind of flies up. This one, not so much. It actually has a staircase that goes to each of the doors that do open, and there's a way to get to every room. So there's 3 ginormous rooms here. I don't know what rooms I'm going to make. Probably like a living room, master bedroom, an attic. I don't know. I need some ideas, guys. Over here, you can see the staircases here. It does go from the front door, goes up, and then there's a second flight of stairs that goes up to the attic as well, which is very cool. And then the little spire on top here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rooms on this side. So there's got to be like a bedroom, a bathroom. I'm thinking we definitely need a craft room. That's for sure. A parlor. I'm not sure. This is a little daunting for me, but I think if we do it room by room, this will be fun. So, one thing, as I break it, there's a lot of little filigrees and things that needs to be repaired. I'm going to have to do some research on that. And I did get some furniture that came with it. So there was like a little bathtub. I don't think this guy fits, but he's cool. It's like a stove. I don't think it really fits the house very much. Well, maybe. And I also, she had a fireplace. 1985. How cool is that? It doesn't really have a chimney, but we could always build one, right? These old houses always had fireplaces, so we'll have to stick that somewhere. Maybe. I also got tons of little bits and bobs that, you know, a toilet, you need that, right? And a little chopping block. Got a grandfather clock. Definitely can work with some of this stuff. Some extra pieces of the house. This is going to be fun. And then I found with my grandma, she had a stash of stuff too. That my dad was like, you know, your grandma had dollhouse pieces, so I'll definitely have to put some of these. So we got a wardrobe and a little table, dresser. She's even had a little piano. I mean, oh my goodness. We can go crazy. I think it's a shelf? Yeah. But there's so much potential, so I think we have our work cut out for us here. So yeah, we got quite the project ahead of us. It also came with, I think the #1 thing we're going to tackle is the lighting. So it came with this kit. And there is some wiring in there. I don't know if it's good or not. And I don't even know. Well, if nothing else, it does have instructions. Woo, they're old. Of what's in there right now. So it'll be interesting to see if they actually work. But yeah, where to start? But before I leave you, I have to, so I asked the previous owner of the dollhouse, her name is Deborah, and she's a wonderful lady. Give love to Deborah, thank you. And she wrote me a story about the dollhouse. So I'm going to read this, and I'm going to give you some little tour of the house at the same time. Miniature dollhouse. It wasn't until my dad handmade an old-fashioned farmhouse for my cousin's daughter around December 1983 that I became interested in collecting miniatures. I reviewed a few dollhouse miniature magazines and told my dad I'd like him to make one for me. He told me to find a picture or plans for a house. When I showed him a picture of an old Victorian two-sided house in one of the magazines, I told him I would like for him to make it a little bigger. He sure did, didn't he? He got busy in the garage cutting all the small pieces as I looked for and shopped for any local stores around Modesto, California for wallpaper, wood flooring, lights, and lamps. One of my trips took me to Oakland for a miniature show. It was so amazing. I was so amazed at the variety of miniature items. On another day, I drove to San Francisco by myself to visit a miniature store. However, the clutch in my Honda Accord gave out by the time I reached the Bay Bridge. Imagine trying to drive the hills in San Francisco without a working clutch. Oh gosh, I had stick shift my first 2-3 cars, and I drove in Tacoma, Washington. If you know, you know. Luckily, there was a gas station attendant working across from the store, and he kindly tightened the clutch enough so I was able to drive home. Whew, that was good. My mom helped my dad cut the tongue depressors in half for the roof shingles. For the 2 front porches, he cut and laid wooden strips for the floor. He handmade the windows, which would be opened and closed. On the top turret, he welded some colored glass for the windows. He completely assembled the house and added electrical outlets. In the meantime, I had married and moved to Washington State. Yay! That's how she got here. My husband and I drove to Modesto after the miniature house was completed and loaded it into the side of the Chevy van. Once we got it home, we found out that it would not fit in the house. Oh, I had the same problem. It sat in our garage until our parents were able to come to Washington. My dad and husband found that they would have to cut over 1 inch from the bottom of the base of the house so it'd fit through the door frame. That's why when I get into it, the bottom of the house does have a little cut across. That's okay. Over the years, I became busy with life, working, and family. We all understand. I unfortunately was not able to add to my miniature collection to furnish the house. Because my dad handmade it for me, it took quite a long time for me to decide to put the house up for sale. Oh. I knew if I were to ever let it go, I would have to... Oh. I knew if I were to ever let it go, it would have to be to a special someone who would truly appreciate the sentiment and cherish it as I did. Yes, don't worry, Deborah. I'm going to take awesome care of it. I'm going to finish the house that you started, which is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. As you can see, this was made with such love. And I have some pressure to do it right, which is a good thing because that means I will do it right. So, just a little taste of things to come, and any suggestions, helps, tips, tricks, I'll take it all because this is, I've done tiny. I've never done this scale, so it's going to take, I know, at least a year or more to do it because I'm going to do it very carefully, room by room, and we will display it with love. So look forward to all that, and Deborah, it's in good hands. I promise. And I'm sure she'll read the comments, so give her love, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. What you doing back there? You gonna leave the house alone? Okay.